All right, what is up, sport bat fans? We are back for some more shenanigans this week, as this is another episode of The Fan in the End. I'm your host, as always, Stephen Rychel, the big man, Mr. Ben Troupe, to the right of me, and down underneath, needs no introduction, Mr. Blaine Bishop, former Houston Oilers, former Tennessee Titan, and we're gonna be having some fun this afternoon. Talking some football, talking some life, and everything in between. So, Ben, how you feeling today? You ready? You ready to get into this stuff, my friend?
I'm great, man. When you told me we were gonna have Mr. Blaine Bishop on, I said, you know what, man, I finally get to talk to, because being a former Titan myself, Blaine has always been a person that, like, real similar. Got out of football, got into media and things of that nature. But I'm gonna jump it off early. I told Blaine before the show there was a celebrity basketball game. It was like the older Titans versus us youngins, right?
Oh, yeah.
And Blaine know what I'm about to say. So we had this running back by the name of Lindell, right? Lindell White, you know what I'm saying, coming from SC. But I kept telling Lindell, listen, man, if they play for the Oilers, then the Titans, them grown men you walking up to them. And I just remember Lindell had a little something to say to Blaine. And Blaine kind of looked at him like, younger, you know who I am? Like, I know where we at. You know who I am. And to me, what I appreciate about that was, it was one of those things to where Blaine was saying, listen, I ain't trying to sun you or nothing. But understand, youngin, like, I helped pave the way. There was no Titan. Listen, Oilers, I had to go through the transition from Houston to Nashville. And for people who don't know, brother, it went from Memphis to Nashville. Where we going to play at? So I just remember being in the building that day and Lindell coming back to the bench, and we just look at him like this. I thought you were gonna check Blaine. No, man, it wasn't like that. I mean, I bet it was. It could have got ugly right there. And I just what I appreciate about it was, it wasn't like you, Blaine, was trying to show Lindell up. It was Lindell was talking too loud, and you was like, hey, wait a minute now. Like, let's come. I got kids and a wife, brother. Don't do that.
Let's have a good time. Let's have a good time.
Let's have a good time. We're happy to have you. I'm happy that you're here, but we can shut the game down now. This could be the last play now. This could be the last one. So I was in the building that day. We used to always clown Lindell about that. Like, when we have game plans, and Jeff would be like, don't worry, Lindell. That ain't Blaine over. That ain't Blaine.
Oh, no.
But, we got to joke around with it. But no, man,
no doubt. That's us guys.
It's a pleasure to have you on the show. But I got to ask while I have you. For those who don't know, you drafted by Houston, and then you ended up moving to the Titans. It wasn't, Bud Adams, may he rest in paradise. What was that transition like for people who's here when Oakland goes from the Raiders to Las Vegas? What was that like going from Houston to Tennessee?
Man, it was kind of interesting because we weren't in the same state, so which is a little different than Oakland and LA and all that movement. So we were going to a whole new state, and we were unfamiliar with, and we were going from the South to, South, but it was more towards, the Midwest too as well. And so I was actually super excited about it because I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana. So I was going to be a 4.5 hour drive to my family and all my friends I grew up with and everything else. But at the time, I was actually franchise tagged. So I held out that entire time. So I didn't get the chance to move with the team. I got there 3 days before the first game, and actually it was versus the Raiders. So we lived in Nashville, but we played in Memphis. And that was the issue. And I think, I don't think Mr. Adams, rest his soul, understood the rivalry between Nashville and Memphis. And they thought they were going to get the team. Obviously, he must have negotiated with both parties, and they ended up not getting the team. So, they sometimes booed us. So we felt like we were always having away games. And then, our families would be driving down, which was a 3.5 hour drive or so. And they would get back late at night because all the traffic from the game would be coming back. And so we'd get back like at, 3, or let's say 6 o'clock, and they get back at 10 at night. So it was just kind of that transition is always uncomfortable. But, we're creatures of habit as athletes. And then so you get out of your little flow of what you like to do in a rhythm. But, we adjusted just like, everybody else and found your way. And then the next year we played at Vanderbilt, and we were still Tennessee Oilers at the time. which was cool there. And it was the first time that I had passed out in the locker room after the game because I was trying to take off my uniform and it was so hot. So I had never passed out and taking off my uniform there. So that was tough. You know, a lot of people didn't show up for the games there. And we were a middle of the road team. You know, we were 8-8 type team, but we were always knocking on the door. And then once we got into the stadium in '99, and then the New Jerseys, and then we were the Tennessee Titans, it kind of became electric and infectious for our team, and let alone the fan base. And we started off beating the Bengals at home, and that was a tough game, hot game. And then, the kind of rest is history because we kind of went on a run. We felt like we finally found a home, and we had the support we needed to get us over those tight games that we were losing. And we got some more talent, and we got the freak. So that helped out a lot too. That's Javon Curse.
Yeah, I'm about to say, for those who don't know, he said the freak. That it'll take a whole show to talk about the kind of stuff Javon Curse could do. I mean, he's a little bit older than me. I got the Florida after him, but I would be remiss though. You talk about talent though. No, I give the freak a lot of credit. But yourself, Mike Munchak, Bruce Matthews, Eddie George, obviously Steve McNair.
Right.
And before you left, y'all going to a Super Duper Bowl. It wasn't like people talk about building something. Before you got out of there though, Blaine, y'all going to and I remember, mind you, I'm a youngin' at the time watching the game, and I just remember Dice, and I'm like, oh man, he almost got that was one of the best games because of who y'all went up against. The greatest show on turf and things of that nature. But what does that mean to you though, Blaine? Because people always talking about leaving something better than they found it. I mean, y'all put a lot of pressure on us. Because by the time I get drafted, we're talking about AFC champions, Steve won, a co-MVP. What was it like going, like you said, we went from, Houston to Memphis we're playing in Memphis, living in Nashville, going to Vanderbilt. AFC champions came up literally a play short from horsing up a Super Bowl for a team that a lot of people didn't put a lot of stock in.
Yeah, I would say, we built the foundation. We built the foundation of what the organization saw of how to win, and then bringing in different pieces to the puzzle with leadership, athleticism, young players to to veteran players, and it had a good mix of all of that. And then we had depth too, so they did a good job drafting. And it meant a lot to us. We take it, kind of personal because, it's still today. I want the Titans to win a Super Bowl, and I want to feel like I'm a part of it, regardless if I'm on the field or not. That's just kind of how personal it became for everybody on our team. So, yeah, man, that was a great time. Playing the greatest show on turf. We had already played them in the regular season, but we'd never lost at home, and we beat them at home in Tennessee. And then, I think it was like week 6 or so. And on turf, they were a different team. It was no question about it. They were quicker, faster. We had some injury. We had like 2 guys down on the secondary, but they showed out. And we just ran out of time a little bit. And what's so funny? Everybody talks about the Super Bowl team, but man, I tell you one thing: the next year's team was better than that team, and we didn't even make it to the Super Bowl. And then you could relate to that. You've been on some teams where guys were better and our team was better. We were #1 defense and all of those things. Offense was clicking. And then, we lose to the Ravens in the playoffs. And that team was, we had a couple turnovers for touchdowns and block kicks for touchdowns. And that's the one that kind of eats at me. Not necessarily the Super Bowl, because your goal is to get the Super Bowl and win it. You say, man, but next year I think we're going to be even better. And we were. And then to come up short there, I think that probably eats at me a little bit even more. So because, it's one thing that we kind of build up in that 99 team to we realized that we were an elite team as time went on during that season. And so we didn't know we were really elite until we get there, like through that process. Well, the next year we knew we were good. We knew we were dominant. And then not to close it out that year, that team, the 2000 team, as well as my rookie year when I was a backup in '93 with the Oilers. Those 2 teams are really super talented, probably the most talented. They were the 2 most talented teams I was on, and neither one of them got a Super Bowl. They easily beat the Super Bowl champ, in the regular season, but we all know you got to win it when it counts.
Yeah, man, it's tough to get that run together. I've seen it. We've seen it a bunch of times over the years. That the best team in the regular season, they'll go run through everybody, and then take the undefeated Patriot season. Then they lose to a
I
wild
know.
card. You lose
Yeah,
to
that
a
was
wild card
heartbreaking to see
Giants.
that happen too, man. That was heartbreaking to watch. Like, dang, I wanted to see, I wanted to see a record. To tie the record with the Dolphins. I wanted to see that. I want to say I was living to see it. Man, so them losing it. I mean, I wasn't like a fan of the Patriots. I just wanted to see history, some form of history.
Yeah, it was rough to see them go down like that. I mean, I'm an Eagles fan. To see the Giants be able to take them down like that, I'm like, man, we are better. We are a better team than them. Are you serious? And I kind of want to get into some of the stuff going on in the NFL today. I want to get your thoughts on a couple things. They just announced that they're going to be debuting the Protector of the Year award for offensive linemen. It's something I think is long overdue. That the offensive linemen, that they don't really have, the only stats that they have is sacks given up, penalties. That's it. You look at over the last 10, 15 years, you have your Trent Williams of the world. We got Lane Johnson down here in Philadelphia. He's been kicking butt for over 10 years. If this was happening, 25, 30 years ago, who do you think be able to kind of pull in multiple awards there? Like, are you you got some people you would like to throw out there and say, hey, I think some of my old linemen got to get some love here too, right?
Hey, man, this is what I'm talking about right here. Is I played with a guy who played 20 years in the league, and that was Bruce Matthews, and he only went to that one Super Bowl. And the dude was super athletic. He could catch punts. He would catch like 10 balls of punts. The guy could punt. He could have been our quarterback. I mean, the guy could do everything. He was just that athletic. Bruce Matthews. I called him the living legend. It was something to behold. I mean, I played him in racquetball. He would just eat me alive. I mean, this guy, he was phenomenal. I hate to see like a player like that not to get a Super Bowl, let alone he was definitely deserving. It makes me think about, okay, if we're going to make a position which is deserving for the offensive line, are we going to do that for the tight ends, Ben? Are we going to do that for the defensive backs? Are we going to do that for every position group to be recognized? Because naturally everything's about, well, not really the offensive line, but it's about offense. Offense draws tickets, defense wins championships. So you say, are we going to do that for other groups that maybe are not getting the recognition that they deserve? And the offensive line is definitely at the bottom of that, so they definitely deserve it because the only time somebody talks about them is if they have a holding call or if they have a bad PFF score, which, I don't even know how they even do those because sometimes I'm like, man, that guy played pretty good. He played pretty good. He got a bad score. Okay. Or he played bad. He had a good score, so it's just kind of interesting to see how that will play out. I don't know, Ben, what do you think?
I like that. And the reason why is because, and I think every position gonna have a debate, right? No one debates more about their position than DBs. Because, and here's why though. People will say, okay, well, what type of safety are you? Are you off the ball? Are you a free safety or are you a strong safety? You're a safety that play down in the box. Can you blitz? Can you cover? Can you hit? Can you tackle? Right? And here's the thing. It's not that it's going to settle it. If whoever wins, but it shows that I love what Patrick Surtain, winning Defensive Player of the Year at corner.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
But safety is a different type of monster. Like, safeties are DB. Make no mistake about it. But they are the enforcer. They are the ones that make a tackle, and they look at the person who's supposed to make a tackle and go, didn't I tell you that? It's like y'all are
yes.
like y'all the only people make tackles and look at the other DB and go, I'm not going to scold you because we out here, but didn't I? Because it's like,
yeah, that's exactly
I like that. I like the fact, listen, love what they're doing for the O-line. But DBs to me are like, we forget about them because they play well. So they have a bad game is, hey, man, we got to get rid. No, dude, I played with a player that reminded me, because I didn't play against you, see you play as much as I should, Blaine, but when we did watch you reminded me of like a Bob Sanders. Not the biggest dude.
Right.
He come down that lane. Listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
Not the biggest, You did not want to deal with 20. You didn't want to deal with you. So because one of your teammates who used to talk about you the most was my player personnel guy, Marcus Roberts. Listen to
me. Yeah.
Because he used to always tell us this. He'll say, let me tell you about being Blaine. We learned how to work together. Y'all got to work in this back end. If the quarterbacks, all they care about is, hey man, you got me, you got my help. If they on that number one receiver side, where he goes, good safeties know, hey man, nothing cheap, nothing deep. What? Nothing cheap, nothing deep. And if they dumb enough to run the ball, we got to let them know we are the big. What he said, man. What he used to say. Listen, we run like deer and we hit like buffalo. That's what he used to tell me. We run like deer. But when I hit you, and so when I play with Chris Hope, he'll say, "Boy, I'm coming down the line." He said, "I'm running that rail like Blaine Bishop." He'll say that before the game. I'm running that rail like Blaine Bishop. He said, "True, I'm gonna knock myself out."
They had a nice tandem with Chris Hope and Griffin, though. They were pretty.
They were. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. When people talk about the Legion of Boom in Seattle, people always talk about Richard Sherman. No. Look at them safeties. Just look at it. Cam Chancellor is a
Thomas.
Earl Thomas was, dude. When you know this, Blaine, when you could play one high. When you can play one high safety, you got a nice defense, boy. You got a safety that can go sideline. I'm gonna get that steam in there. Throw it. You think you're gonna just throw it? I'm gonna knock it. That's back when you had the real bang eight. You ain't got bang eights no more. You can't even hit them no more. You got to before you hit them, you got to say, "Is it okay if I hit you real hard? Because I'm about to hit you real hard. I might get a fine." But no, I do think the DBs deserve an award, only because. It's so many of y'all, and y'all. No one DB plays the same. Playing the same position don't mean we play the same, because we don't do the same thing. Like I used to love when Adams out of LSU was in the league, the way he played, right? And like I say, when people say a safety that played 10 years, that's a lot of banging, boy. That's a lot of banging. And when I say, hey man, that's a lot of massage. The massage therapists in all these cities stay in business because of hard hitting safety. They just lay on the table. But yeah, I do agree. I hope that they do, because you got the football honors, and I'm like, I love the old linemen, and I think they're great. They don't cover people.
But they should do a tight end award too, though. I mean, every position.
I want to do a tight end award for this reason right here, right? The tight end award is not going to go to a tight end like Brock Bowers, who the world knows. It's going to go to a tight end that you didn't know was balling. Just like
Brock. That's what I'm talking about.
An award is not for the one everybody knows. The award, they say, wait a minute, who and what? And then
just to give him some recognition. Yes.
Yeah, man. It's because if he got first team all pro, that because like I say, I'm gonna keep saying this. Numbers only tell half the story now. Some of us are box score watchers. We go watch that box score. And he said, that dude, that ball. I said, no. Because like I say, when they used to let us watch the defensive meeting with y'all, they'll let us see what y'all are actually doing. And they'll say, watch Mike come across the screen. I said, where is he coming from? I said, well, he coming from 30 yards, and I almost pick it off. To watch y'all safeties play.
It's
I
fun,
said, how
man.
y'all people that hard? Y'all are the only people. I'm about 2 centimeters from hitting the ground, and you got to hit me. You just got. He said, "Do it."
I don't know, man. You had that hurdle game. I mean, you was a super duper athlete. I got the scout report on. I already had you scouted, man. I didn't see you hurdle some people and things now.
Well, that's called. Let me tell you something, Blaine. That's called fear and awareness. All because, and here's the thing: when I'm jumping over people, so as a DB, I'm waiting on you to lower your head. Like I'm now. See, Blaine, I couldn't. Not your kind of DB. You square people up. You and Marcus, y'all used to kiss jokers. Like, no, I ain't gonna be. I'm gonna look at you in your face. Marcus Robinson told Chris Brown. He said, Chris Brown, if I played when you played, what? I would have lied. You too tall. You about 6'3".
He got to get this time level down. Yeah.
But to regular DBs who don't make Pro Bowls, they just good players. They gonna duck their head, and I'm gonna jump over them, and I'm gonna talk trash when I run back, like what I would have done. Had he saw me. But no, man, I did my best out there because, like I said, I got drafted the same year as Bob Sanders. And he played Indy 2007. He hit both skates so hard. So he hit both skates. Bo come to the sideline. I remember the trainer said this, Steve, and this is what the trainer said, Blaine. He goes, he has a lacerated spleen. I said, this is what we said. This is what we said. What's a spleen? What the? So we got to go in the game. Listen. Mind you, I already got knocked out. Listen, Bob.
Really, he was bringing that phone. He was defensive player of the year.
Yeah, listen. I got Bob Sanders. I got Ed Reed. I got Troy Polamalu. I got John Lynch. I got Brian Dawkins. These are the safeties. These are the safeties that I'm. So my thing was, I love Troy. I love Ed Reed. I love John Lynch and Bob Sanders. Brian Dawkins was made in a lab, and he came out because when I said, "Hey man, one of my favorite players, I get to go up against him." First play of the game, backside block, ain't nothing really going on. I ran up to y'all DBs. If I run up to you and I slow up, you won't really hit me. I got a little bit too close to Brian, hit me in my chin, bam. So all this, couldn't feel nothing the rest of the game. Done. All this.
I played with dogs.
My teammates to go like this all over. I said, I can't feel this. And the thing was, going back to another Lindell story, Lindell don't know B-Dog. So Lindell get hit by Brian Dawkins. He jump up and he cussing Brian Dawkins out. Brian Dawkins jumps up, he looks at Lindell, he yells out, "Hallelujah!" And he starts speaking in tongues. Listen to me, Blaine. Listen to me. Lindell runs to the sideline. He tells Norm Child, "Y'all got to get that dude. That dude is possessed out there. You need to talk to him." I don't know what he don't know. B-Dog like, "Hey man, I'm a God-fearing man. I just knock people out for a living. I'm gonna knock you out in the name of Jesus."
Oh, now you I got a B-Dog story. We played together, right?
Talk to me, man. Talk to me.
Oh man, what a special individual. First of all, just a really great human being, Brian Dawkins. Him and his family. It is great, but he had on game day this ritual. He would sprinkle water on him with one of those whistle things. I got to the point where I was going to ask him, like, I'm going to use it on me. Maybe it could help me. And I think it was some form, because he was real religious. And so he would sprinkle on me. And I said, "Hey, man, let me use that. We in the locker room." And he go, "Oh, it ain't going to work for you, but you can use it." But that wasn't my story. So we out in the game. And we've seen him in film, I see him flying in the air, and I'm like, "Damn, man, what is this dude on? I've never seen that." We had the same agent. It got to the point I had to call my agent, like, "Hey, man, this dude is different, man. This dude is bad." And he was super athletic, aggressive. He could have played corner. He was just that good. He was just that athletic. But he got in the game, and to your point, he hit somebody. I don't remember who it was. And I mean, he hit him in the track, boom, stalemate him, and they went down, boom. And I'm running to the ball. So I see it happen, right? And by the time I get over there, everything's done. When I get over there, he says, "Lord Jesus, pray for him." I said, "What is he doing?" So we get to the sideline, and I say, hey man, well, you said pray for him. What were you talking about?" He said, "Because I hit him so hard, I didn't want something bad to happen to him, so I just told the Lord to pray for him." He said this in the game. "Lord Jesus, pray for him." And he had this different personality. Like, they had two lockers. He had one where he was X-Man, and then the other one was Brian Dawkins. Like, he was two different personalities. It was insane, man. The dude was phenomenal. I mean, I could tell you, I could go on and on, all the stuff. He should have won defensive player that year. I was on the team that 1 year. He returned kicks, interceptions for touchdown. I don't know how he didn't get defensive player of the year. It was unbelievable.
B-Dog is a one of a kind player, because B-Dog plays how he looks. Like, if you just look at him, like that,
he intense. You see his vein come out of his neck when he be preaching and stuff.
I mean, he he oiled his arms up, let you know, "Hey, I'm gonna get the guns going," right? Yeah. And he got the darkest visor on the planet.
I couldn't even see him. I used to be like, "Hey man, give me a signal that you see what I'm calling." He's like, man. I'd be like, "Dang, man." Then the kicker was him coming out of the locker room when they do the announcement of the starting lineup. Everybody was like, "Blaine, you got to look back at this dude, man. He have to run it like he a dog, and then jump off the air off of 4 and do some crazy stuff, man." It was unbelievable, man. He was different, man. He turns into a different person on game day, and it was impressive. I haven't seen one player in my entire career like that, and he was special.
See, I said, man, But it's hard to describe how Brian Dawkins, because I played in college. I played with Lito Shepherd, and he got drafted to the Eagles. And he used to tell
Lito was there with me.
I used to ask Lito, after his life, I said, Lito, man, what is it about Brian Dawkins? And he said, no exaggeration, you can't exaggerate it. Like, you can't exaggerate him. Because he said, most of us, man, if you met Brian Dawkins in a Starbucks or at church, you would be like, that's not number 20. They go, yeah, it is. Yep. They said he really could turn it. He said, listen, when he get to that stadium, when he get out of his car, it's already started, man. Sweating. He said, and when the game is over, man, he takes a shower, he puts on his suit, and he's Brian.
Yeah, it's really crazy. Yeah. But he used to go in the stalls, where you go take a dump, I'm going to say that, and then would go in there and put on his helmet and then start banging on the walls, like of the stall. And then he comes out, and then he's a different dude. He would do it every game. I was like, man, maybe I should start doing that. He was special, man. He was one of a kind. One of a kind.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the few people from that era that just like there was no doubt that he was going to be a Hall of Famer. We talk about like numbers is only half the game, and just from some of the stories I hear from like players like you, everyone talks about the Keo Spikes interview when he's talking about taking he's like Spikes, I'm gonna take this dude's soul. Like he literally had that switch, man. Like where when he got to the stadium, when he got in there with his teammates, it's just like he became Weapon X number 20, however you kind of want to refer to him.
That's right, Weapon X. If that's what he was. Yeah.
Weapon. I mean, here's the thing, though. You got to play with Bruce Matthews. You got to play with Brian Dawkins. You got to play with the Freak and Brad Hopkins, who don't get enough credit. And we talked about. I talked about Mike Munchak, and Eddie George. Man, you play with Steve. You play with Steve
and McNabb.
McNabb. Now, see, here's the one I want to get. I got to ask you this one because everyone's going quarterback crazy right now, right? And we were debating. When we were having our show on a normal Wednesday, we were debating on with Eli should be a Hall of Famer considering he's got 2 rings, but his regular season numbers don't kind of match what kind of gives you that thing. But I think we all agree that he's probably going to get in at some point just because his last name's Manning, right? Now McNabb didn't quite get there, but he also, for the better part of his beginning half of his career, he didn't have anybody. Like those first 4.5 years or so, he was basically running around like a crazy person trying to keep that team alive. Do you think at some point in time, obviously it didn't end the way he wanted it to here in Philadelphia. He wanted to stay. They wanted to move on. He wound up in Washington and all that stuff. Do you think at some point in time, like this, regardless of what goes on in the city of Philadelphia, will actually accept him, or do you just think where he's at right now is kind of where he's at as far as the way he's perceived in Philadelphia?
Well, I'm not there in Philly. I don't. How is he perceived in Philadelphia?
It's like listen, right now when you go to down that quarterback list, like Donovan's kind of down the bottom there. I still think a lot of fans put Randall Cunningham above Donnie, which I don't completely agree with. But I'm also one of those guys who I loved Randall. And it's a shame he finally put it together after he left here. But I think Donovan kind of gets the thing, like he would always come up short. And I think a lot of the fans kind of sided with T.O. over Donovan McNabb during that whole spat and things like that. So a lot of them, I think we forget how good Donovan really was.
Oh, yeah, he was a fantastic player. To me, I'm trying. You guys tell me you know the history a lot better than I do there in Philly, but I would feel like he has to be the number 1 quarterback. Maybe when I say that, I'm talking about stats and everything else. Now it could be fan base who says Randall Cunningham.
He's got like
or
92
like
wins or something like that.
Yeah, so I think it's unfortunate that you're going to be judged because if you don't have a Super Bowl ring, but the impact he had in his era, I would say he has to be at the top of the list.
I still think people forget how tough he was when he broke his leg
against Arizona.
Finished the game.
Run, throw,
finished the game.
Yeah, he was tough. I mean, man, that's a little surprising to me here because I kind of only look at it from a player's perspective, you understand guys who have talent, even if they don't have, as Ben was mentioning, you know, the stats and numbers. You kind of look at their era and say, what impact did he have actually in game during his era? You know, people, you know, game planning against him, and they were saying, man, we couldn't stop him. I mean, he could run, he could pass. You know, shoot. I think he could shoot. Did he ever punt? I mean,
he didn't punt like Randall did, but like I think he was that one of him, you know, Steve McNair were kind of that pre-dual threat guys before Michael Vick kind of hit the scene. That they were just those guys that if the pocket broke down and they got outside, they would murder you with their legs.
Just think now, Donovan McNabb, I'm gonna just say this, played basketball at Syracuse, the Orangemen. Hey, that was a basketball program. Like this dude was a phenomenal athlete, man. So yeah, I think sometimes, you know, people get a little too critical. But when you look back on it, you know, after time has passed, I think you'll say, hey, man, if you're saying you're one of the best, if not the best quarterback in the history of the organization, I think, yeah, man, that speaks for itself.
Yeah, I think we are super critical here in Philadelphia, and I think we are too hard on them, especially the people that grew up during that era. Mm-hmm. And I just think like we kind of glaze over them, and in my opinion, what we're looking at right now, like with what Jalen Hurts is doing, I think if he stays consistent and doing what he's doing, and this team stays consistent, I think it's just a matter of time before he overtakes him, especially because he has, you know, 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 win, and Super Bowl MVP, things of that nature. I just think it's a matter of time before Jalen kind of steals that moniker that I believe is Donovan McNabb's right now as the best quarterback in the ecosystem. Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, hold on now. Blaine said something that I can remember how we be talking about Hall of Fame. Stephen, I always say impact. That because if he impacted the game, yeah. Speaking of the best quarterback in franchise history, Steve McNair, man, listen.
Yeah, McNair.
And the reason why I want to ask Blaine because I got the last 2 years of Steve. I was a part of that. They let him go to Baltimore.
Yeah.
And when let me say this. How they see Donovan in Philly, just switch that in Nashville. Just switch it
exactly
a gazillion times. Like to the point where Steve McNair drove a Dodge Ram. At least he drove a Dodge Ram when I was playing with him. Drank moonshine, hooch, whatever. He was a Mississippi boy. But what was it like playing with a young Steve McNair, man?
Oh man, it was magical. He made us believe, and he had this air of confidence about him. And, you know, he could have a bad game going into the third quarter. He would come down there to the defense and say, "Hey man, I finally got him." And I'd be like, "Hey man, you better show up because I'm tired right now. We've been on the field too long. What you talking about?" And then I'd be dang if every time he did that, he delivered. So he had what I would say is the clutch gene. And, you know, when they needed a play, he would find a way. And whatever that way would be, whether it was running, slide to get the first down, first throw. So, yeah, man. So that he had. Even his numbers may not be where he got to remember the system we was in a little bit. He didn't become Air McNair to probably when you got there, you know, a little bit before that. But we were running the ball with Eddie. But him and Eddie back there together, McNair was a fantastic quarterback. And I bet you, if I was guessing, he doesn't have the big time numbers, and I think it would probably had to take him winning a Super Bowl for him to probably be talked about like he should be. So that's really heartbreaking. But man, he was different, man. He was special. Man, we talk about two special, Dawkins and McNair, man. Those are once in a generation type. You know, those guys don't come along very often. And McNabb, like, you know, we could talk bad or say about one play, or, you know, if you can just pick one play that stands out to you, well, what about all the thousands of other plays that this guy hadn't done? So yeah, McNair was a bad man, boy. He ran like he was a moose, man. Then he was fast too. He was
nice, man. He had I used to say, man, you got that charisma on the football field. Like he's the only player that I've ever played with that after games and you going up talking to other players, they ain't asking you about you, man. What's up with Steve? Because mind you, Mac like 10 years older than me, right? And we play Houston my rookie year. And he did something to this linebacker, man. He gave him like a Sean McCoy type. He ran at him like he jumped back, and the linebacker like fell, and then Mac like ran 10 more yards and slid. I'm like, that man got a family, man. You doing that, man? And mind you, the thing about what made Mac special was to me. Obviously, by the time I get to the league, he's Mac. Super Bowl appearance, AFC champion, MVP. He never ever taught you like I'm Mac. Like he never taught you like you here to the point where all he would say is he got to get his nap. Yep,
before the game.
And he would say, man, let's go out here and play with this LeBron ball. He would say it, and Matt could do, man, we ran this play. Mike Heimdinger was the Mike Heimdinger.
Yeah, he was there when I was there.
He was the OC. Man, he rest in peace, man. We ran this play, and I didn't run it right. And, OC going crazy. Matt said, Troupe. He said, 8-4. You good? He said, but I'm going to need you next time. And mind you, to me, that's football. Meaning,
yes,
if I play defense, I don't want to let you down, Blaine.
Yeah.
See, that's the one thing that I don't think a lot of players get. My rookie year, I'm doing an interview. And the lady was like, man, are you married? You have any children? I go, no, ma'am, I'm not married. I'm single. I ain't got no kids or whatever. And my teammate let me finish my interview. When I got done, he says, yes, you do got kids. You got my kids. You got his kids. You got his kids. You got his wife. And I'm like, wait, what? He said, don't you know whatever happened to you happened to them? And I'm like, wait. And I was getting ready to say something, and I look over, and I see Kevin Carter. And Kevin Carter's like this. And to me, those are the type of players I play with to say, I don't care what you got individually. Collectively, whatever happened, listen, if you do well, we do well. So when you drop the ball on third down, right, and that's the game, and we lose the game, that could have been, because I didn't realize how important week 16 and week 17 was to hit them incentives. So I didn't get it. Listen, man, don't. And so for me, I used to always enjoy, people like yourself, because Marcus Robinson made sure we respected the Titans that came up. Cause he would come in the meeting room and say, y'all some of the most disrespectful, and just walk out. Do nothing. He'll say, some of y'all want what comes with football. I want to play football. He used to tell us that. Y'all like what comes with it. And to the point where when he used to, I used to go out in the city, talk to people in the YMCA's, Boys and Girls Club. He'll say, Troupe, you're gonna be one of these guys, man. You know what I'm saying? You just want to take from us, man. You don't give us nothing. That's how he used to talk to us. But I needed that, man, because when you first get that Blaine, you love it. But the city of Nashville is beautiful. It is a city and country in one city.
Oh, well, there, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's you got Broadway, West End, and then you got on out there, different places. And for me, I ain't want to let dudes down, man. Like, this is what he was saying. He used to stick with me. He'd say, Troupe, just say you ain't the reason why we win, right? Yeah, don't be the reason we lose. And to me, I said, where I'm supposed to be? In the middle. Just contribute. Don't be catch the game winner, but don't drop the game winner. Because this is the thing. When you drop the game winner, that's the only time you can hear the boos. Then they get loud. Then you look up to the sideline, and the worst thing you want is your teammate to do this. When they don't say that, they just look at you like this. Because at the end of the day, I played with Keith Bullock and Samari Rowe.
Yep, me too.
Mike Munchak was the O-line coach by the time I got there. And so for me, when I saw y'all at that game, man, and I saw how, y'all out there running around with us, man, and I was like, cause I was one of them youngins that I understood, but I ain't understand. I understood. Marcus Robinson said, you're going to understand over here with me, because I'm going to make sure y'all boys know y'all ain't the first to do this. Y'all just the current ones doing it. We've been doing it.
Yeah, well, they indoctrinated me too. I mean, Munchak, when I got there, Mark Robert had already been on the league 2 years. He was going on his third year. Munchak just had finished up and he got into coaching. So he coached the whole time I was a player for for the Oilers and the Titans. So yeah, man, those guys, it was different, man. I think, and that's a big issue. What you're pitting on is, I think that's a big issue in today's, NFL. Like, I don't think that team camaraderie and family atmosphere and I got your back when you fail, because everything in life is about, you're going to have some failures. It's not about the failing. It's about how you respond to those failures. So you can pick yourself back up and you get to write your own story. So don't let somebody else write your own story. Your story. It's your story, man. You can finish. Let's see how you respond. And, especially now with all this social media, everybody gets, oh, man, they said this, they said that. Like, really? I could care less what somebody said. Watch what I do next week. Watch what I do next week.
And speaking of stories, I came across this graphic. I wanted to share this one with you, Blaine.
Yeah.
So apparently that the Houston Oilers are no longer a franchise. Were in existence, currently have more division titles than the Cleveland Browns since their new existence.
Oh my God. Man, how long did it take you to come up with this one, man? Come on, Steve. Come on.
I just thought I'm sitting there going across things like looking up stuff as I was going over it, and I came across that graphic. I'm like, oh no, that is not a real thing. Oh wait, it is a real thing.
Is it?
Yeah, so basically the Oilers have been out of existence for over about 25 years or more.
Yeah.
And in that time, they've still won more division titles than the Cleveland Browns has since they've been brought back into existence. What was it, 99 they came back?
Is that when they came back? Okay.
I think it was 99 when they came back, because obviously, the Baltimore Ravens used to be the Cleveland Browns. And, that move happened and everything like that. Then the funny part is Cleveland's getting ready to maybe be out of Cleveland again, because the mayor's sitting there talking about that. They're sitting there talking about wanting to get a new stadium, things of that nature. The mayor was like, the Cleveland Browns are at the bottom of our priorities list right now.
What? Oh, that cannot. This is just posturing. It has to be.
I'm sure it's a negotiation.
What I thought you was going to put up there when I saw that, I thought you were going to put up there like the Oilers and the Texans, because the Oilers. No. The Oilers are the real team in Houston.
Yes,
they are. They had real colors, right? I don't know. The Texans don't even got a color scheme. They red, white, and blue. They don't know what they want to be week in, week out. They just don't. And so, let me tell you something that people don't give enough credit to. Everybody knows about Pittsburgh, Baltimore, San Francisco, Dallas rivals. It ain't media, darling. Tennessee, Houston is a. I don't think people get it. No. We cannot stand. We love the Oilers. What is a Texan? You didn't even come up with a real name. We're Texans. The Texans is like the Commanders. Like, you should have just stayed the Washington football team. No, I'm just telling y'all, because when I was with the Titans, right, we used to play. Obviously, we don't like the Jags and the Colts. We get it. We don't like the Ravens and different ones. We used to play the Texans. They'll say we don't like them. They'll say why? Because they pretenders. They ain't us. I say, really? Listen, and you know what kicked it all off? When Andre Johnson played for the Titans. Because guess what? Guess what? You know what a Titan great has never done? They've never gone to Houston. That's never happened.
Oh, that's a great point.
I mean, because think about this. Listen. But people say, wait a minute. That's how much he wanted to be a Titan now. At the end of his career, he came over to the two-tone blue. He did. Right? But here's the thing. Any of the greats that ever came through Tennessee, right? They've never, think about this. I guarantee you this.
That is true.
Derrick Henry is at the twilight of his career. He probably got 3-4 more years left. So after the Ravens, he's probably going to have 2 years left. I guarantee you he won't play for the Texans. Hold on. You know who else was a Houston great that came to the Titans? DeAndre Hopkins. He played for the Titans too. Yeah. So listen, they'll come to the East. We ain't going to the West. They'll come over here. We both
I'm gonna have to Google that, because I think you're on point. I can't think of another player that used to be a Titan for the Texans.
People say, do loyalty really exist in sports? It just depends on who you played for. It just really, really depends on who you play for.
I want to drop a loyalty one for you here. I came across this. Me and you've been talking about BG the last few weeks, right? You know that he basically asked Philadelphia if he could return with no salary just because he wanted to give the knowledge and thing back to some of these young guys that are coming in the building or are still in the building. He played here his entire career. He's like I think one of like two or three Eagle greats
they'll find a way to let him in the building to talk to them youngest, man. Because I will say this because I got Blaine here. That's the one thing as organizations, they don't do a good enough job of making sure that today's group of athletes knows who did it before them. But not on the highlight. He's sitting right here in front of you. Because I'm telling you, not only do they think they the greatest, they think ain't nobody ever done this before.
No money. He deal it for free.
Man, let me tell you something. He think he will till them knees start acting up. He gonna have to get
he wasn't having problems with his knees. His problem with the bicep.
No. What's gonna happen is he say he'll do it for free. Did his wife say he's gonna do it for free? His wife the wife gonna say, okay, give me his checks. Don't give it to him.
Right. It's free for Philly. That's right, my friend.
I appreciate what he and applaud what he's doing, though.
I appreciate what he's a.
Now we're also talking about rivalries. This past week a rivalry's been renewed between the Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers. I don't think people realize it. Obviously, the secondary owners meetings happened. They passed a few new rules that they're going to be allowing NFL players to do flag football in the upcoming Olympics. Some people are happy about it, some people are not. And the big thing on the docket was the Eagles tush push, where they brought in Jason Kelce because Kelce felt that he had to come in because there was teams basically making the assumption that he had retired because of it. So he wanted to clear the air about it. But Jeffrey Lurie goes and does this hour-long thing and things of that nature. And apparently the San Francisco 49ers owner was basically said, have you said enough bleep BS, basically, because Jeffrey Lurie was up there for an hour. Now, obviously, there ain't no love lost between San Francisco and Philadelphia after the whooping we put on in the NFC Championship game a few years ago, where you had Hassan Reddick take out Brock Purdy, which knocked him out for a good 6 months because of the elbow surgery, which he was still basically recovering from the prior season. He's got his contract down there in San Francisco, but I think I wouldn't be surprised if we see these two meet up in the playoffs at some point over the next few years, and I don't think it's going to be friendly, not one bit.
No, I saw that. Go ahead, Blaine.
No, I didn't. I mean, I didn't see all of that. The rivalry. Philly. They like it like that though. That's what they want. So they want that edge. So hey, I understand, but at the same time, hey man, if you can't stop it, why you mad, bro?
Yeah,
Now here's the funny thing. All right, so we just seen everything go on. There's a rivalry with that. Tampa Bay puts out this tweet that like, hey, we found the formula to stop the tush push. But let me break this one down for you. If that was the case, why'd you vote to ban it? There's the Buccaneers down the bottom. You voted to ban it. So if you already have the players on it, why are you on the list to ban the play?
Listen. I know a lot about Big Dez. Being a former Gator myself, watching him play the last 4 years, he's like 400 and last time I checked, like 465 pounds, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, he is. We did a quarterback sneak with him last year. That's the biggest shoot. That's the quarterback shoot, and there ain't no sneak, boy. That's a bulldozer. That's an 18-wheeler. But here's the thing about the tush push, and Blaine just said it. Sometimes you got to play that you just can't stop. And now, will the NFL catch up? It always does. But the NFL don't like the fact it ain't caught up yet. See, usually you do a play for a long time, the D coordinators, they go in their lab, they got it. They really, really think that the only reason why they're getting it because Saquon is pushing Jalen Hurts in the back. What are they going to say when Jalen and there go his blockers right in front? Listen, it's the greatest quarterback sneak you ever seen in your life. And Buffalo, who tried to get it banned first, their quarterback, Josh Allen, 6'5", 250? But he can't get it. Green Bay really need to be quiet because I'm like, understand. Look, man, listen. It's like this. The greatest bulletin board material is when the whole world knows. If I'm a tight end and I'm going up against a Blaine Bishop, I'm not gonna say nothing. You know why? Because it could get bad for me. I'm gonna tell you why. This is why. All I do is block and catch passes. Blaine hits people every play. It might not be me. So this is what'll happen. Blaine might tell Marcus, "Hey, listen, next play, yeah, I got to go give him a love tap." What? I got to go give him one. So I'm over here running. Next thing, ribs gone. Ribs just done. And it's illegal. Now, this is legal. It's legal.
Right? Then I would have said, my bad, bro, my bad.
Listen. And Blaine, yeah, exactly. Blaine, that's Blaine looking at me going, that's Blaine letting me know I heard what you said. What? And I listen, and after the game, we're going to talk about it. We're going to say, man, listen, because what people don't get about football is it's the ultimate, like, mentality type sport. Dude, ultimately, we don't like each other. We respect each other. I respect you, but I want to knock what? Like, people say, hey, man, why y'all be hitting each other that hard? I ain't hit him hard enough. I don't want to hurt him. I want you to be on the edge of not being able to come back in the game. But I want you to come back. I ain't going to do nothing illegal, nothing dirty. Because the one thing about the NFL that we don't do the dirty even if it's coming from – we don't play that now. Oh, don't do that. But you listen, they can come and yell out, tush, push. The whole stadium can know. If you can't stop it, that's the thing about football, that it's more plays than that you can't stop. That's the one that everybody. There are plays that they'll say, all right, call the dogs off. Because the NFL, man, sometimes my will is just stronger than yours. My will is just greater than yours. And it will not get bigger than Vita Vea down there in Big Dez. But here's the thing: what's going to happen when they play them? If they play them?
No, we do. We don't play.
So this is what they're going to do. They're going to call tush push, and they're going to let Todd Bowles and them bring in the beef. Make sure, are they right there? Y'all good? First down. And then what? Listen, to me, I'm going to keep saying this. The tush push until stop is the sky hook of the NFL. You cannot
stop it.
But it has to be done. Listen, other people have tried to do the sky hook like Kareem. They just ain't perfected. Like Kareem. And here's the thing. You know what somebody said, man, you still going to do that little dumb move? Yep. Over and over. And until like 30 years ago or 20-something years ago, you better be happy LeBron played. Because wasn't nobody breaking that record for points. What nobody doing? So I think that, and I'm gonna say it ain't that is being done, it's who's doing it. What if Kansas City was doing it with Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady? They wouldn't have a word. They would love it. They would have kids on the Pop Warner. But sometimes it ain't the message, it's the messenger. They don't like Jalen. They don't like Philly. Because Philly got a shot to be not only were they the best team in football right now, Jalen got a shot to be the face.
Yep.
The second rounder who nobody really wanted, who didn't think he was that good, is going to 2 Super Bowls, outplayed Patrick Mahomes twice, lost by a field goal the first time. And now, what did he say? I had a purpose way for y'all had an opinion, so let him flow. Let him come on, because guess what? I was good before Saquon got here. So what you gonna do now? Hey man, I'm happy that y'all owner got to say his rant because he thought they were gonna ban it. So he let me speak my piece. You got to face them players. Hey fellas, I went in there and I said what I could say. Some of those owners thought they had more juice than they had until they didn't ban it. When they said we didn't get enough votes. What? Yeah, so y'all better get y'all tush push game plan ready because it's coming. You thought it came before? Wait till the tush push bootleg. The tush push
right, you know it's coming. You know it's coming.
Have a tush push.
They gonna fake it and do something. Yeah.
Listen, and you know who mad now? Safeties like Blaine who just want to get in there and try to make it. Now I got to still cover tight ends and receivers who might be booting. Thanks a lot. Because it could have went away had nobody. But hey man, ain't no crying in football, man. Yeah. You know, hey, sometimes you the hammer and sometimes you the nail. You know what I'm
saying? And speaking of no crying in football, we were talking about this about a month ago, Ben. They made the official announcements this week for Hard Knocks, and it's going to be Division Hard Knocks.
Ooh.
So Washington, we get Dallas, we get the dumpster fire down there in New York, who's trying to rebuild. They got 3 new quarterbacks now, and then you got the best team in football because there's no argument anymore. And this is the first time since I've been alive that the Eagles have been the best team in football going into the season. It's never happened during my lifetime. Hell, I don't think it's ever happened in the existence of the team, to be honest with you. So, lights, camera, action is going to be on the NFC East this season, my friends.
Man, the hate within that division. In my era, you grew up, that's all you thought was the NFL, was this division. So the hate for the Cowboys and the Philly fans, oh man, it is
they already started.
Until you play in that game, and do you really know? I mean, all those teams, but really Dallas.
It is really Dallas, and I was talking with Ben about this week. I'm going to bring it up to you. So obviously, Quinyon Mitchell he's been dubbed Guantanamo Bay, right? And I guess Micah Parsons was bringing it up to CD Lamb, talking about there ain't no Guantanamo Bay. He's like, wait, what's that? And I guess he was explaining it to him. He's like, I ain't never been locked down. I'm like, wait a minute, you played against Quinyon Mitchell twice last season. You had 1 catch for 5 yards. And then saying that he's never been on an island. That's the definition of being on an island. You had 1 catch for 5 yards against him last season. You're the star receiver of the Dallas Cowboys. I don't want to hear that Guantanamo Bay don't exist. You have to destroy the Guantanamo Bay to sit there and say that doesn't exist. Your stats don't back up to what the actual thing is. So that rivalry is going to be deep and hard this year, especially with the fact they just brought in George Pickens. The offense is going to look a lot better. I know we like to clown on Dak, but Dak is still a top 10 quarterback in his league. He don't get enough love. He is definitely a top 10 quarterback. I will put a lot of guys up in there before I'm going to take Dak out, because as much as we like to clown him, I'm an Eagles fan. Of course I'm going to clown him. But I mean, he is a consummate professional. When he's healthy, he is a dangerous quarterback. People cannot take that away from him. That's going to be
I'm about to ask you this, Steve. Is Dak Prescott better than Jalen Hurts?
Hell no.
What? You wouldn't say Hurts is in the top 10?
I said he's not a top 10 paid quarterback. Hurts is in my top 5. When you look at contracts, he is outside of the top 10 now, as far as money wise for quarterbacks.
Okay, where's Brock Purdy in that? He just got paid. Where is he?
He's 7 now.
He's 7th in pay. Just because you're getting paid doesn't mean that's where you're at in the league.
I agree.
Because if I was picking between the two, I'm taking Hurts. Hurts is clutch. I don't think people think he's in the top 10 like Dak Prescott.
Well, no, like we just sitting there here that you got Chris Sims running his mouth again. Was like, oh, we forget that the passing game was the problem with the Eagles last season, because the 10 games before the Super Bowl that's all, the AJ Brown said it was the pass. I still think it was the play calling of the passing game is what that he was having the issue with. I don't think the passing game was the problem.
Oh.
At least in my opinion, when you sit there and you seen Jalen Hurts in that Super Bowl, would you think there was a problem with the passing game last season?
I mean, no. And look, Chris Sims, myself, people that have platforms, Steve, Blake, we talk. Listen, when you talk for a living, you say a lot of stuff now. I'm just saying, when you talk for a living, you say a lot of stuff, and you can't be held to every single thing you said. I said this on Wednesday. I was almost late to work. It was raining. My coffee spilled. Just Chris Sims. Just think about this. Here's the thing.
What I love is there's these lifetime backup quarterbacks all have a whole hell of a lot to say about Jalen Hurts. Lifetime backup. It's Chase Daniels, it's Chris Sims, it's Dan Orlovsky. Why are these backup quarterbacks have so much to talk about this guy? It's confusing to me.
Because they said the NFL was scripted. They said the NFL was scripted, and then no, it ain't. Because if it was scripted, they ain't got Philadelphia penciled in to win it at the end. When Kansas City going for the 3-peat. No, what I'm saying is, listen. My wife tell me I say all kinds of stuff all the time. She's like, "You hear what you said the other day?" I said, "No." And she'll remind me. I said, "I said that." She's like, "Yeah, you said that." Right. All right. But here's the thing, right? When you're on TV, you got the, people say, "Hey, Chris, man, you ain't said nothing crazy." All right, man, Brock, okay, Jalen Hurts ain't that good. Okay, so if Jalen Hurts ain't that good, and exclude Kansas City, who is? Because if quarterbacking is about what you did that year, not all pros, because the second team all pro won MVP in Josh Allen, which means the best quarterback in football wasn't the best quarterback in football in Lamar Jackson. Because usually the MVP of the league was first team all pro that year. Usually, Blake, we must be switching the rules. Guess what? You know who was all pro 2 years ago? Jalen Hurts. He was second team all pro. I'm gonna keep saying this. Look, not that it matters. My senior year of college, I was blessed enough to be up for the John Mackey Award, the top tight end in the country. I was blessed enough to be there, right?
Man, huh?
Check this out, though. Check this out, Blaine. Check this out, Steve. My coach, mind you, when I'm in college, I don't even know who John Mackey is. I didn't say that at the time. I know who he is now. I know who he was. Going into the semifinals, I was number 1. Kellen Winslow was number 2. Dude named Chris Wilson from Pittsburgh was number 3. My coach told me, he said, if they vote the right way, boy, you win that John Mackey. But if they postpone the vote, they're going to give it to Kellen Winslow. Now, mind you, my coach knows I don't care about no awards. I'll take them, but it wasn't that. They postponed the vote. Kellen Winslow won. Check this out. What? When I got drafted, they said, Ben, man, how does it feel about not winning the John Mackey Award? I said, Kellen Winslow. Where do I hear that name from? Is that Kellen Winslow, the son of Hall of Fame Kellen Winslow? They go, yeah. I said, my daddy was in jail.
You're right.
Hey, listen. Which means last name and pedigree and bloodline hold weight, don't it?
It does.
Holds a lot of weight. Who was Jalen Hurts' daddy? I don't know. But I guarantee
somebody hurt.
Yeah, exactly. Chris Sims is the son of who? Phil. So he knows that what he says is gonna hold a little bit more weight than anybody else because of who his daddy. And I'm not mad at Chris. I'm not mad at Phil. But when we start saying things like in New York, Saquon, we're gonna let you hit free agency. Those are the people. I know we get tested for, concussions and stuff. We need to test some of these GMs, don't we? You let Saquon Barkley walk for nothing? Because you, Blaine, listen to me. I said, wait a minute. Blaine Bishop said I was franchise tagged and held out. So I'm on the team. I just want my money. You let Saquon hit free agency for nothing. No trade, no phone call.
No compensation.
No compensation. So when I hear Chris Sims say, I don't think Jalen Hurts that good, the next question is, well, then who is? I ain't talking about that. I ain't talking about that man up there in Kansas City. He's solidified. We know what he's done. Mm-hmm. Lamar Jackson won 2 MVPs. That's not winning at all, mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Justin Herbert is tall with long hair, right? Out there in LA, right? Mm-hmm. Joe Burrow went to a Super Bowl. He got over his toes with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, right? You know what Lamar, Josh Allen, and Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow can't do? They can't beat the boy in Kansas City, and they can't beat the boy in Philly. So to me,
clutch.
Jalen Hurts is the one that said, Jalen Hurts, there was a meeting of all quarterbacks in Philly. There go Ron Jaworski, there go Donovan McNabb, there go Michael Vick, right? There go Carson Wentz, there go Nick Foles, there go Brandon Cunningham, and they was getting ready to eat, and they said, you better not touch that food till Jalen gets it. What? You better not touch it till Jalen. And when Jalen got there, they sat down and ate. Because you know what Nick Foles and all those quarterbacks asked Jalen, what do it feel like? What do it feel like to start the whole season and finish that thing? Because, see, what I respect about a Blaine Bishop was I started my whole career. See, people won't talk about this. You know the hardest thing to do in the NFL is to play for a decade and start. They won't talk about it. I'm not taking listen, I went from a starter to a role player myself. The hardest thing in the NFL to do is every year, regardless of the draft, boy, you one of the first ones run out there. Ask Blaine how hard that is. They trying to replace you that year.
Every year.
They just draft 2 safeties. I'm telling you, the best players, I don't care who they bring through them locker rooms. But listen, let me tell you when I knew. Aaron Kennedy. I get drafted in the second round, 2004, first pick of the team. The first person I met was Aaron Kennedy, starting tight end. You know what Aaron was telling me? Boy, you gonna need me, boy. Now, I didn't. He wasn't trying to. He said, "Troupe made the best man win." He said, "But you are a professional." Yeah, I'm a pro, and there is a difference. Getting drafted made me a professional. I had to learn them ropes, boy. That's what make you a pro. And for me, Jalen Hurts is a pro. That's why he's a pro. That's why Jalen Hurts told Saquon, boy, this is how you handle pressure, boy. Who cares about what people say? If they ain't talking about you, you ain't doing nothing. No, they got so for me, what Jalen is, he is a celebrity that don't care about it. He's famous and don't care about it. It just come with it. And if he wins a three-peat, that boy already had a commercial ready. He said, listen, hey Jordan, hey Nike, just like LeBron
already had a commercial ready for this Super Bowl. What do you think they'll do if he wins?
Oh man, that was awesome too.
It was Jalen. Listen, Jalen Hurts.
Oh, it's fitting for him, man.
Jalen Hurts is the only man. Jalen Hurts is the only starter in college history to go 2062 and get benched. He was 26, and guess what he did? He never made waves. Y'all want this younger name Tua? I'm gonna move on out the way. Nick Saban. It's all good, but if y'all need me, Tua comes in, throws the greatest throw ever to Devonta Smith, winning that championship against Georgia. Next year, sneaking up to join against the first half in the SEC championship game. Hey, yo, Jalen, what's up? Jalen came and saved the day. Goes to Oklahoma, and people said he was gunshot Blaine. Well, who did he throw to when he was at Oklahoma? What was that guy's name? CeeDee Lamb. That's who he was throwing to. But he's gunshot. I'm gonna keep telling people this. I played with a Jalen Hurts. His name was Steve McNair. When you play with guys like that, to where they the one of the biggest names in the sport. They so down to earth, it's hard to explain how normal they are when the camera's on, they hold court now. Ask me any question. With Jalen, why don't you go to the White House? Oh man, I had a previous engagement. Oh man, but I heard that the guys that went there, they enjoyed themselves. That's how you.
Wasn't that smooth? Wasn't that smooth though?
I said he like this. Jalen's like, the boy, I ain't new to this. I'm true to this, boy. I've been here. I'm just telling y'all. If my son is a quarterback, he always asks me, Daddy, who I need to look like. I said, don't look at somebody to play like them. Look at how they are as a pro. Look, you're trying to emulate because. Man, out there on the field, man, either your talent gonna take over or it won't. Either you can do it or you can't, and ain't nothing wrong with either one. But it's when you take your jersey off, you take your helmet off, and you go questions. When you can do that, because the media, man, they're gonna write what they're gonna write. It's cool.
Yeah.
But once I start winning, what they gonna say? Then they really got to make stuff up. They really got to. Hey, you been to 2 Super Bowls already? How many Super Bowls Josh Allen been to? None.
He should have won the MVP. The one they lost. He should have won the MVP.
What did I tell you?
He should have won it. It wasn't even close.
Jalen Hurts, listen, when you hear this, young man, just know this. You are making the regular season MVP irrelevant. You are. You know why? Because they're giving it to the most popular. Last year, they gave it to the most popular player. I'm going to down this hill. When the last time the second team All-Pro won the MVP of the league? It don't happen. It happened last year. You know why? Because they ain't want Lamar to be the first 3-time MVP. They ain't want him to be the first. Well, guess what? Jalen said, don't worry about Lamar. If they don't want to make you the first 3-time MVP, I'm gonna be the first 3-time. I'm gonna be the second 3-time Super Bowl MVP. But I'm gonna play the other one playing Kansas City. I'm telling y'all, I just like when players like Jalen Hurts say, hey man, I'm gonna be myself regardless. And Steven, people gonna be thinking, listen, I'm not trying to interview to be on Jalen Hurts media team or marketing team. I just respect. And speaking of Hall of Fame and all that,
Blaine's got to get going. Let's give him a proper send off. And
I appreciate it, guys. Man, this was fun.
What we typically do is throw it over to you, my friend. Anything you want to say? Your parting words here. Let people know where to follow you on social media. The time is yours, my friend.
Oh well, yeah. Blaine Bishop 23 on IG, B Bishop 23 on X, Twitter, whatever you want to give it. And man, you always get to write your own story. I said it before, and never let someone dictate who you are, what your values are. You're going to have failures, and that's supposed to happen. But it's how you respond to those failures will determine who you are and what you become.
All right, Blaine. Appreciate your time this afternoon. We definitely got to have you back on here again at some point in
Appreciate
time.
it, big dog.
Enjoy your afternoon.
Right. Thanks,
have a good
Steve.
one, my
Appreciate you, Ben.
Appreciate it, Blaine.
Take care.
All right, everyone. That was the one and only Blaine Bishop. That was a fun one.
That was.
So hopefully we get to get him back on here, talk a little bit more football, a little bit more life. It's one of the fun things. Always getting different perspective, picking people's head. Obviously, Ben was able to kind of share some of the kindred moments they had together with they didn't even realize it and things.
Oh yeah, Blaine, Steven, you would have laughed. Blaine didn't know I was in. It was just funny. Obviously, we're a lot younger then. You know what I'm saying? When we're doing these things, and it was all in fun. It was like a hard foul or something like that. And Blaine was like, "Wait a minute." They were like, and then I was like, "Whoa, slow down over here." Because this is a charity event. They're like, "Wait a minute, slow down." You know what I'm saying? To Blaine, but no, man, Blaine was a hell of a player, man. And I just remember what he meant. He's a part of the foundation of the Titans becoming what it became, because he was a second team All-Pro in 2000, man. I remember him. They used to show us him like the way he played and how he played. So when you told me you had it, I said, "Oh man, I always wanted to holler at Blaine Bishop, man." So I appreciate you. Another great get by you, Steven, man. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, I already let you know a special one we got, but we're gonna hold this one on the books. People are gonna have to make sure you tune in, like, subscribe. We're gonna have a fun interview. We'll do a pre-record next month. It'll air the following month, but a big, in my eyes, he's
huge.
People just don't know. They just don't know.
Listen,
I want to put two more things out there before we wrap this one up there. I don't know if you've seen did you see they're doing a biopic on the Oakland Raiders, and Christian Bale, Nicolas Cage are going to be Al Davis and John Madden. That's going to be airing on the Prime Network.
I cannot wait to watch. Look, dude, I was about to say that's Christian Bale and Nicolas Cage looking like, that's crazy. I can't. Yeah, that's going to be dope. Al Davis deserves his moment in the sun. I don't think we give him enough credit for how much of a, you know what I'm saying, an example.
People don't realize the impact Al Davis had on what the NFL is today.
He's an NFL type, man. A lot of things that are done right now in the National Football League, as far as like coaching, practice squads, and how you do. Al Davis has, and John Madden is the poster. He is the gold standard of announcing like the way. Obviously got the greatest football game. Football game. In the world, Madden 2025, but they finally get real actors doing them. Come on, Nicolas Cage. Come on, Christian Bale. Let's do it.
That's going to be interesting. I wonder, I want to know what they're going to do, how they're going to do it, what era they're going to kind of get into, and how long it or are we just going to?
Them John Madden pants going to definitely be tight. They're going to be tight and they're going to be high. They're going to be
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Christian Bale always is a method actor, so I want to know how he's going to portray the one and only Al Davis there. That should be an interesting one.
Just win, baby. Just win.
Now we were talking a few months ago about Mr. Nick Sirianni. He gets his flowers, right? Gets the big contract this year. Has not spoken on it, right? Who's got the most wins since 2001? Obviously, it's Andy Reid, but he's better than Sean McDermott. No one puts him there. He's better than John Harbaugh. No one puts him there. Nick Sirianni has the second most wins over the last 4 years, but he's a terrible coach. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's being held up by his team. The same conversation we have about Jalen Hurts is said about Nick Sirianni. It is unbelievable that this guy still can't get no love.
Nick Sirianni says, "You know what, man? I got a bunch of grown men that believe in me, that believe in my system, that have bought into my culture, and I'm just gonna do whatever I need to do to make sure I'm giving all I can for them. And the proof is in the wins, right? This is a results-driven business, isn't it? You know what was also funny about that? The top quarterback coach was number one. Who was the second? That was Nick Sirianni. So how can his quarterback? You see all this validation for Jalen? You see all that? So the number one, because guess what people gonna say? Oh, that's Andy Reid. He got Patrick Mahomes. But who Nick Sirianni got? Jalen. Go ahead and say it. Jalen Hurts. And I saw Sean McDermott. I know some of that down there was, Aaron.
Yeah, Matt
Rodgers,
LaFleur with the Green Bay Packers was
Green Bay, and I saw Harbaugh with So what do they all have in common? Don't say great quarterbacks and leave Jalen. No, great quarterbacks. Period. Great quarterbacks. Exclamation point. Not great quarterbacks, question mark, because if you're gonna give credit to Andy Reid for Kansas City, don't try not to give credit. You're gonna try not to give credit to Jalen Hurts, but Nick Sirianni is learning. Hey man, what this Jalen Hurts dude, it's something to him, ain't it? You know what he got to him? What? Winning. That's all he knows. High school, college, pro. You're what Nick Sirianni. I know you, and I say this humbly. You're welcome, because that's what Jalen tell all his coaches. He told that. He went over there. What's his name? The freaking coach. He went to USC. No, he went to USC. The coach used to be at Oklahoma. He told him congratulations. Then he told Nick Saban congratulations. Now he's telling Nick Sirianni, Coach, you're welcome. Why? Because this is what I do. And they don't got to like it. Listen, Tua is in Miami. Mac Jones, I don't even know what team he's on right now. CeeDee Lamb wishes he played for the Eagles. Yeah, I said it. And so, hey, man, let's do it. And congratulations to Nick Sirianni, man. People think, what he got his contract extension for? It's a bunch of coaches getting contract extensions don't have a good regular season. That's all they've done. They ain't won no Super Bowls. Yeah, they got MVPs for the regular season. That would be Harbaugh. That would be McDermott. What does Nick Sirianni got? I got a Super Bowl champion and a Super Bowl MVP. You don't think that deserves extra money? Okay. No.
Listen, I'm glad we talked about it. We knew it was just a matter of time. I thought it was funny that the only thing that has been announced to the general public is that it's a multi-year extension, not the dollar amount, anything like that. So, I think our good old friend JB was right. He got a blank check.
Hey, listen. He gave it to. Listen, Roseman comes in. He goes, Nick, here, thank you. Man, ain't nothing on this. There go the owner's name tattooed on the left, on the bottom. You just write in what you want. Man, stop playing. No, I'm serious. For real? Yeah. And the owner standing behind him like this.
We're talking about Hall of Fame owners the last few weeks. Obviously, Jerry Jones is in the Hall of Fame for being an owner, not a general manager. People want to sit there and been arguing with this Cowboys fan on TikTok because he's a Hall of Famer as an owner, not as a general manager. He's arguably the worst general manager over the past 30 years because he's the owner. He can't. No one's gonna fire him.
Exactly. Yeah. Listen,
but I think after this now, with the success that has happened since Jeffrey Lurie took ownership of this team, thank you to the heavens, he's been nothing but a winner. You look at the Donovan McNabb team. His only bad mistake, in my opinion, that he made was Chip Kelly.
Yeah, and I keep getting that from a lot of players. Coaches, fans saying, dude, sometimes you can't go with the hotshot head coach coming from Oregon. Oregon? I mean, come on. Oregon? And not only, I know you don't forget, Stephen, but not only did he come, he drafted a lot of his players from Oregon.
Yeah, if you look at it, most of the core of the three separate runs that this team has had, the 2000 runs, the mid to late 2010s, and now this newer iteration they have now is mostly built through the draft. And the only thing that's kind of really hurt them is keeping on guys that they probably should have let go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you've kind of seen that not only Jeffrey Lurie, Howie Roseman's learned from those mistakes because of how many people left during this all season. We weren't paying Josh Sweat that money to come back. He took a restructured contract to stay here to win a Super Bowl. Milton Williams wasn't going to get that contract from here, but he went to New England and got paid, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, I mean, who else left? Avonte Maddox left. He knew.
Yeah, they traded. They traded us. C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Mekhi Becton, he left, but they replaced him with the guy they got from Houston. At guard, another former.
And the draft. Like, listen, I don't know if you've seen this, but Jordan Mailata was talking about the draft pick. He's like, "Yo, them boys, they pushing us, man." He's like,
what? Look, the goal with any team is to draft. Develop, retain. That's it. That's the draft, develop, retain. The best teams. Look, I don't want to draft a guy. Develop him. He become a beast, and I let him go. Because I want him right here. Because I watch him mature as a young player to become a veteran player. And like I said, you look at the Jordan Davis. We kept saying, "Hey man, are they going to re-sign Jordan?" No, but they said, "Look, man, we're going to pick up that 5th-year option." They telling Jordan, "We want you here. How long you be here after 5 years is on you." That's going to be on you, Jordan, right? Because you look at what Jalen Carter is doing. They break over Ojulari. What the Eagles have done is said, look, let's be patient for the players that we want. Let's get the players that we waited for. Let's make sure we develop them when we get here, and let's beat the hell out of everybody in the process. That's what they're doing. Like I said, I'm going to keep saying this. I'm watching the draft. I'm saying, okay, pick 31 is coming. I saw the Eagles trade with the freaking guy. I said, they finna get Jihad. And my wife like, who is Jihad? Just wait. I'm like this. The 31st Jihad Candle. I said, huh? I said, Jihad Candle slipped to number 31. Jesus. Howie Roseman is gonna start doing GM clinics. He's not gonna invite Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones not invited. Nope. GM. You can't be a GM and an owner, just GM. And they're gonna, because here's the thing. He's doing it in plain sight. He ain't hiding nothing. He is saying, if you build a winning culture, then you play and plug guys to it. You don't believe? Blankenship and Cooper, they got a freaking podcast now with Saquon on there talking. I just saw Saquon throw an alley to Cooper DeJean. He catching up. What the?
Yeah, dude. I just seen that too off of the
and it was effortless. And I put, as one of them, I'm like this. You know how you trying to act like it wasn't impressive? I said, man, that was tough. Now, because they did it on camera, I guarantee they got a call from Howie or Nick were like, hey, don't do that. That was nice. Don't do that. I like that's nice. Cooper, what I'm saying? Saquon, Jordan, all y'all in that gym, get out. Get out the gym. Go home. Put your feet up. Okay, we need y'all. But no, that was you guys have a team, Steve, that really seems to love each other, care about each other off the field, interacts with each other off the field. When you know each other's families, wives, kids, siblings, and you know what each other is into, now you're making it more of a family that calls itself a team. That y'all gonna be tough, man, because that's the part of football that I always understood, but I don't think all my teammates I had understood that. Like, dude, I got to know what make you you. I got to know what make you I got to know what I can say to you to piss you off to get you to play if you're not playing right. That's what it really is. What you say? You heard me. Like, you know what I'm saying? So y'all gonna be hard to beat. I think what the Philly has developed is this. Y'all have developed we didn't say can't nobody beat us mentality. We said you gotta prove it. We didn't say we can't be beat. You just gotta prove it on game day. All right. So CD, when Michael Parsons asked you about the island, all he had to do was say, oh man, he a good player, man. When I went up against him, man, he a tough matchup. I ain't never got locked up. What you saying? Because let me tell you what CD did. CD, don't show me what you did during the season, the totality of it. Show me what you did against him. He's talking about when he played you. Yes, you end up having over 1,000 yards. You're going to have over 1,000. You play 17 games. Yeah. You catch 60-some yards a game over 17 games. That's over 1,000. So you don't have to. What I'm saying is when you did it against him, because guess who else think he can lock you up? Cooper is saying, wait a minute now. You act like I ain't got an island. I got an island. I'm just looking forward to game one. I give the schedule makers a lot of credit. They said, who we want the Eagles to play? Let's give them Dallas. Why? We want the viewership, we want the publicity, and we want Jerry to tell his players, see, I told you that's what it looked like when they let the banners down. What you mean? Because I've done it before. See, look, they let them down. See, NFC champion, Super Bowl champion. I did that 3 times. Now, I did it when we watched NFL on VCRs. Yeah, VCRs.
2 different technologies have been developed since
then.
Yeah,
since then, we don't even got CDs. Now, we don't even got CDs anymore. Like, that's how long it's been. You know what I'm saying? But no, I think that what the Eagles have done, Stephen, in a sense, man, they are showing people that, man, ain't no gimmicks over here. Like, we don't got to do no gimmicky stuff. We're gonna put our 11 against your 11, and let's see. Because on defense, we're gonna beat you with pass rush. We're gonna beat you with our front 7. We got heat-seeking linebackers. We just added another one, name is Jihad. Good God. Then we got a front 4. Think about this. No Hassan Reddick. No problem. Like Hassan Reddick left and was never seen from it. Think about it.
He's in Tampa Bay now.
I mean, think about this. You mean to tell me our number 1 pass rusher was gone and we didn't miss nothing? Not our number. Listen, now I swear.
Not even the guy they traded for either.
Man, I'm telling you,
Josh Huff wasn't even getting snaps at the end of the season. He was healthy scratches.
I'm telling you, man. Look, y'all, it's dangerous what y'all doing right now because the league. Let me tell you what the players did. The players went through their schedule. They kept going. Oh shoot, bro, we played the Eagles. For real? Yeah, play the Eagles. Mm-hmm. Win. You know, because.
Well, let me tell you something. Team in the modern era to have to play 10 playoff teams from the previous season.
Why are the Eagles a part of the hardest schedule, and the 49ers got the easiest schedule in football? At least, you know, just by the onset. We'll Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts was probably at his house, you know, in the jacuzzi or whatever, just watching film, and his wife said, y'all got Dallas the first game. He said, baby, close the door. What? Close the door. I thought you wanted to talk to me about it. So you want to talk to me? What? Y'all play Dallas the first game. Girl, close the door. Dallas. Close the door. Listen, I'm in the sauna. You let that cold air in. Because like I said, man, I respect everybody on that roster from A.J. Brown to Devonta Smith to go there to Saquon to Jalen Carter to Lowell Jalari to Nolan Smith. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter if you ain't got Jalen. Jalen is the one that brings it all together because he is the heart and soul, and he's the calm. When people say, hey, man, have you ever heard that calm in like a scary movie when everything gets quiet and you get to look around like, oh, man, the killer is here. Where is he? He right there. That's Jalen, man. I'm a silent killer. I'm going to hit you with that $1 million smile. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say all the right things in the media. I'm going to wear mismatched Jordan cleats. One going to be lime green. The other one going to be eagle green. And the Jordan brand going to pay for the fine. And I'm going to beat the hell out you. I'm going to just beat you up. And guess what? If I want to, I'm a tush push. Anytime I want. They should make that an audible. Tush push. Matter of fact, make the whole crowd go tush push. I guarantee you Eagles gonna be saying tush, push, tush. They're gonna be doing that now, man. I just thought they're gonna be going tush, push, tush. And they're gonna be like, I got tush, push. Hey man, I've never seen a play get banned because you ban a play because it's dangerous, not because you can't stop it. What type of are we doing that now? It's a national football.
I mean, listen, the Green Bay Packers want to start something. I mean, we're talking about player safety, right? So that means the Lambeau Leap should go away. That's about player safety.
They're gonna say, oh no, you know what they're gonna say? They're gonna say, wait a minute, that's tradition. That's tradition. No. The tradition is y'all riding the bicycles, for the kids in the training camp, right? The cheese heads. Somebody took like some foam out of a old mattress and cut it and put it on their head. I'm just saying, the cheese heads is brilliant. I ain't gonna lie. But let teams come up with their own traditions and leave them alone, man.
Yeah, right.
Like, you know, once again, if you can't listen, sometimes you just mad. Listen, Green Bay, Buffalo ain't mad because they ain't mad because it's the Eagles. They mad because it ain't them. See, some teams don't know what it's like to have something that you can't stop, right? And they go, what would that be like? And just imagine, soon as we can't stop it, we gonna ban it. We gonna go to the principal's office. They're gonna say, hey, they gotta get it's the National Football League, not the National Fluff League. You know what I'm saying? Not the National Tell on You League. You know, not the National. Charlie just bit me. What? Get out of here, man. Get out of here. Listen, Eagles, enjoy yourselves. It's gonna be a hell of a 2025. And Steven, like I say, man, I'm just looking forward to the ebbs and flows of the season. You know, I got my Falcons. You know, and then you got, we'll see what happens with them. But no, man, hey,
if Tampa Bay has a regression year, y'all going to the playoffs next year.
Let me tell you something. We're gonna have to. I think Tampa Bay will have a regression year. We're gonna have to deal with them boys from Carolina. I think Carolina.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are sleeping on Carolina. I think you're right.
Well, Bryce Young, listen.
Year 3 of Bryce Young.
No, you didn't see this though. Last year, obviously the Falcons had a chance to make the playoffs until Kirk Cousins forgot he was Kirk Cousins. And I'm Kirk. Then he started playing like Kirk Cousins. The Falcons beat the brakes off the Tampa Bay Bucks twice last year. Twice. Kirk Cousins had 9 touchdown passes against Tampa Bay, no picks, right? It was like we weren't going to make the playoffs. Our last 2 games, Falcons' last 2 games was the Commanders lost that game, should have won it. And the last game of the season was against Carolina. There's a play last year. Bryce Young throws a touchdown pass to the tight end. When he throws it, Steven, he threw it and he did like a pirouette. He threw it and spun around. Listen, he spun around and looked at the other end zone. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And when the Carolina Panthers media team showed it, it's like they made it look like he was like dancing. Like I said, and let me tell you what Bryce Young did last year. He got benched, by Andy Dalton. Didn't make no waves, didn't cry about it, didn't complain about it. Sat out, waited his time, came back second half. When he came back, he played well. The second thing he did what you're supposed to do. He said, if we ain't going, y'all ain't going. Now, Atlanta had some fake hope the last game of the year. He took that hope, he swallowed it, and he spit it back out. And he looked at Atlanta and said, take y'all behinds on. I'm telling you, I like stuff like that, even if I don't root for him. I don't root for Bryce Young when he plays against my Falcons. But I can root for him. Man, I'm gonna find that clip of it and I'm gonna send it to you, Steven. And you're gonna see why I was so pissed. I'm like, what? Because when I first saw it, I thought, dude, he didn't do that for real. And then when I looked, I said, it's like he threw it like this, and he went like this. I would have ran out there and done. Anyway, I'm looking forward to the season, man. There's no greater season than the NFL season. So, hey, man, I'm looking forward to it. And I don't think my Falcons play y'all Eagles. I don't think.
No, you don't. You don't.
Okay, so we got good. We ain't dealing with that.
We got the Rams. You got Tampa Bay. We got Oakland or Las Vegas. So, listen, more than half the teams that voted against the tush push we got on the schedule. That's all I know. That's all I know.
They're on the list.
So I think it's gonna be the checklist this year. I'm not sitting there saying we're not gonna lose. Like, listen, football is football. You can't. It's unpredictable. You don't know how it's gonna go. A lot of times you think you know how it's gonna go, and then when them boys get on the field, it's a totally different thing. So I'm not sitting there saying we're gonna go undefeated, anything like that. I think this is a 13+ win team.
Oh yeah, I mean y'all got the winning recipe is this: have the best record in the NFC and win your division.
I still think people shouldn't sleep on Detroit. They were very, very banged up last season.
Detroit gonna be good. And here's the thing: let's just say Detroit got the best record in the NFC. Y'all got the second best record. It's a crash course, with y'all having to go to the dome. If the Eagles are a cold weather team that get good weather in a dome, I'm telling people think they be. Let me tell you something. Cold, hot weather teams can't win in the cold. Just ask Miami. It's hard to do it, right? A cold weather team going to an air conditioned dome.
Look what happened when we went to the Superdome for the Super Bowl. They dropped 40 on the two-time defending champions.
Yeah. All I'm saying is Nick Sirianni has built any kind of weather, any kind of situation. Just tell us where we at and let's do a type team. Like Jalen Carter hates everybody that don't wear green and white. He don't like nobody. Jalen Hurts is respectful of everybody. He don't like nobody. Saquon, type in mic'd up Saquon with Philly and look how bad he be talking to these defensive players. He be talking bad to them. When Saquon look at you and go, "Who are you? Who are you?" Okay, because you don't want it. You a little. He said, "You a little boy." That is so funny. The grown man calling you a little boy to me.
Well, I think we touched all the bases. A fun interview with Blaine Bishop, reminiscing on Titan days, reminiscing on playing with B-Dog, things of that nature. It was it was a fun episode. We got a lot more fun in store for you guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with your brother, your uncle, your grandma, the whole nine. Let's get the whole family involved. It's definitely fun here on the Fan in the End. It's definitely fun here on the Florida Sports Tribune Media Network here. I'm Steve. He's Ben. We will see you guys next week for some more shenanigans. Peace out, my friends. Have a good one.